NEO 75-67 in the first tournament, or the first Classic game of the Atrium Classic. Hutchinson will play NEO tomorrow. Barton will take on these Western Nebraska Cougars. We're going to take a break and get you set up with more pregame in the starting lineups. It's the Blue Dragons and the Cougars live from the Sports Arena, the Atrium Classic. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Will be game number 6, so roughly in a week's time. They played roughly 1/6 of their season already.
They're seeing some good competition early, though. It will help their learning curve. We might point out for the folks out of town that the Atrium is a hotel and conference center here in the center of the garden spot of the universe, also known as Hutchinson, Kansas.
Well, I'm an old Region 9 guy. I worked in North Platte, Nebraska for 4 years, so I got to know the WNCC Cougars very well, again out of Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. Very good teams back then. Dave Harnish was a coach there for many, many years, took the Cougars to many national tournaments, and the trademark of those teams was always strong defense and just really grind them out offense. This particular bunch, coached by Chad Gibney, last year when the national tournament rolled around, they were leading the nation in made three-pointers a game at 12.2. They were the 5th leading scoring team in the nation, and the Blue Dragons held them to 30 points under that average. So I know the Cougars are looking for a payback, especially on Hutchinson's home floor.
You know, it did give Hutchinson a little bit of an edge in that they had some extra time to prepare for that game because it was the first round game at Lubbock, Texas. So they pretty well knew that there were some shooters on that team.
Yeah, Phil Anderson had a really nice defensive game plan. Going back to that game last year, that was a breakout game for Michaela Van Ed. She scored 20 points, had a season-high 6 3-pointers. Michaela ended up being on the all-tournament team. Abby Okel had a huge game, 16 points and 4 steals. And maybe the key play of that entire game happened right at the end of the first quarter, where WNCC had the ball to try to cut a 8-point lead. Abby Ogle steals it at half court and scores with about 1 second left to make it a 10-point game. And really, the game was not within striking distance of WNCC after that. In that game, again, 4 players for Western Nebraska are back. Tashara Morehouse, Yulana Valchiva, Taylor Joplin, who's a Garden Plain, Kansas product, and Armani Pulling are the 4 players from that game last year. Out of that group, Joplin was held to scoreless, going 0 for 4. She did have 9 rebounds. Moore had 13 points off the bench, Pullingate and Valchiva 2. So there are some familiarities with this team, and it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be Hutchinson's offense against Western Nebraska's Hutchinson's defense against Western Nebraska's high-powered offense.
It's a really pretty high-quality matchup to have this early in the season. It's only the second game of the year for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons, so they've got to be ready to go, and I know that they've been scouting and preparing hard for this game, especially when you see a player like Tashara Morehouse put up 31 points against Sheridan on November 5th. That's a pretty good quality point guard.
Yeah, this is just a start of what will be a very challenging non-conference slate for the Blue Dragons. After this game again tomorrow night, NEO comes in. NEO, regardless of that 1-4 record, a quality opponent under Jim Rowland. next week up in Great Bend, they will see Jefferson College and I can't think of the other team, but then the week after that, they go and face New Mexico Junior College, a team they played in the national semifinals a year ago, and also Iowa Western. So a very, very tough non-conference slate going in, which I think will prepare this ball team for the conference.
If you want to be the best, you got to play the best.
Well, we're getting set for the national. Actually, we've got a few more minutes. We got about another minute before we actually get to the national anthem. Again, Dan's going to be my home color this year, especially when we get on to Eagle Radio, Country 102.9 and KWBW. And we're just kind of, we did a couple of baseball games a few years ago, which was nice. But, yeah, we're going to try a few runs together here. The Blue Dragons will be back in action on Tuesday night when they play Heston College here. That will be a little bit easier. But like I said, when it gets going next weekend is when this challenging, after this weekend, you get Heston and then a really challenging stretch after that.
Heston's off to a rough start. They are 0-5 the last time I looked. And they have a couple more games this weekend. So Heston is looking to get on the winning track.
It's the Blue Dragons and the Cougars live from the Atrium Classic in the Sports Arena. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Mr. Robert Calhoun on the national anthem does many a Monarch game and has helped us out several times here at the Sports Arena for Blue Dragon basketball. Always does a great job. Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarado back with you, getting set for the starting lineups. First for the Cougars, they'll have Tashara Moore, a 5'3" sophomore out of Milwaukee, averaging 20 points per game at one guard. Yolana Valchiva is a 6'1" sophomore from Sofia, Bulgaria. She's averaging 17.5 points, 6.5 rebounds per game. Armani Poling is a sophomore out of Denver, 5'7" guard, averaging 10 points per game. She's only played in one game. Good luck to you. The Naya Brown is a 5'7" freshman from Colony, Texas, averaging 6 points per game. And Taylor Joplin, the Garden Plain product, 6'1" sophomore, out of Garden Plain, Kansas, 15 points, rebounds per game. And now to Blue Dragon starting lineup. Here's Darren Dunn. Magical run in Lubbock for the Hutchinson Community College women's basketball team to this point.
Last season, we went on a postseason run that nobody but us expected to make.
We made it all the way to the NJCAA tournament national semifinals.
We learned a lot as freshmen. Sometimes the lessons were tough. We learned to compete.
We learned to persevere.
We learned to trust one another. We were 2 games away from winning a national title.
There was one other lesson we learned last year.
The Blue Dragons have unfinished business. Time to get to work.
And now we'll go to Darren Dunn, the expert PA announcer here at the Hutchinson Sports Arena for Blue Dragon basketball. He also does Blue Dragon football.
Introducing the starting lineup for your Hutchinson Community College Blue Dragons. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Baldwin City, Kansas, number 2, Abby Ogle. At center, a 6'3" sophomore from Queensland, Australia, number 4, Brooklyn Betham. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore from Queensland, Australia, number 11, Lauren Mapasua. At guard, a 5'6" sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 23, Michaela Van Nett. And at guard, a 5'8" freshman from Derby, Kansas, number 24, Tori Alford. The Blue Dragons are 1-0 and number 9 in the nation. Coached by John Unches in his 13th
there are your
season.
starting lineups. Abby Ogle averaging 21 points per game. Again, that was a career high 21 last week. Brooklyn Betham scored 2 points last week, but had 13 rebounds. Lauren Mapasua had 9 points, a couple of three-pointers. Michaela Van Nett, a couple of three-pointers, now 95 in her career. 14.0 points per game. Then Tori Alford is going to run the point, Dan. 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Abby Ogle last week jumped center. She's playing the 4 spot. I asked her, she hadn't played the 4 since high school, Baldwin City High School. So it's going to be, again, it's a lot of trial by error with this team right now.
Abby's a competitor. She's a winner. You can put her in any spot on the floor and she'll find a way to help her team. I see Tori Alford is going with the contact lenses. Don't see spectacles on Tori tonight.
That's the first time I think since she played at Derby that I've seen her without those glasses. So here we go. Lindsay actually made a change in the lineup, and the Cougars control the tip. Lindsay Mahuku is in the lineup for the Cougars. So with it, Dragons running the man-to-man. There's a dump inside, tipped away by Betham. It's taken away, a turnover to start the game. Up the floor is Alford, working against Morehouse. Picks up a dribble, tries to go underneath to Abby Ogle, and the pass is too low. The team's trade turnovers right out of the chute. So 21 seconds in, a couple of turnovers.
Hutchinson will play man-to-man defense in the half court.
Tashara Morehouse, 31 points against Sheridan with the ball. She gives it off to Joplin. He squares up top of the key. Now left side to Morehouse. Passes up, tries to go behind the screen, picks up her dribble, a little bit of trouble. Joplin comes out to help. Joplin back to Morehouse between the circles, 12 to shoot. Morehouse wants to take, goes left hand behind the screen, back out to Joplin, drives with a couple dribbles to the right side, hands it off to Pulenka, drives into the lane, floats up, and a whistle. Foul called, and it'll be Armani Pulling going to the line to shoot 2. And Tori Alford.
First foul of the basketball game.
Pulling 7 out of 8 in the early going from the free throw line. The Cougars as a team hitting just 58.9%, and they miss their first. Neither team really shot well in the early going from the foul stripe. Hutchinson at 58.8. Second free throw by Pulling. This one's good, and the Cougars are on the board. 1-0. 49 seconds into this one, and the Cougars throw full court pressure. Dragons break it. Ogle into the forecourt, slows up now. Waits for Alford to get into it. Now between the circles, Michaela Vanette works left side to Mapasua. She squares up on Joplin. 2 dribbles and off to Vanette. Vanette dribbles to the right side, hands it off. Dragons run the high ball weave. Mapasua in the lane, goes up strong with the right-handed score. Lauren Mapasua on the feed from Michaela Vanette, and the Dragons lead it 2-1. Very quickly back as Morehouse goes into the lane, dumps it out, and a foul called on the Blue Dragons.
Oh,
and it's 2 quick ones on Tori Alford. And that'll bring in quickly Kyra Paniora, 5'7" freshman point guard from Queensland, Australia. Had just 2 points 1 week ago. Bit of a frustrated debut for Kyra. New shot clock for the Cougars in the corner. It's Morehouse driving the baseline, shoots up an air ball. Abby Ogle clears the board. Ogle pushes it ahead for the Dragons, kicks it left side to Van Nett. She's cut off by Morehouse, and Michaela dumps it underneath. 2 wide open. Brooklyn Betham for 2. 4 goes to Michaela Van Nett. Dragons lead at 4-1. Now Morehouse slows it up. Drives right, now steps back, picks up her dribble, a little bit of trouble. Coming out to get it is Pulling. Pulling now waits for a ball screen, steps up for a long 3-pointer and a bang. WNCC has a foul whistle in the backcourt, and Tashara Morehouse will pick up the Cougars' first foul. WNCC still averaging 10 3-pointers per game in their first 2.
Go, Kyra. Right here. Right here.
Competitive early season basketball games in a long time at Hutchinson Community College.
Vanette, a step back 3 on the way, hits up the back iron, no good. Morehouse gets the rebound for the Cougars. She'll dribble between the back, or behind the back, now gets it off for a long 3-pointer from Joplin. Her shot off the mark. Abby Ogle clears the board for the Dragons, and Hutchinson out to Paniora. Now the Dragons set in the half court. Vanette between the circles. Paniora worked down to the right wing. Abby Ogle. Dragons facing a man-to-man. Paniora goes down, somehow gets the pass off to Mapasua, who drives. Her scoop shot up, no good. And here come the Cougars. Morehouse kicks it into Pulling. Pulling takes it down the right wing, tries to bounce it into the paint, and it goes to nobody. Turnover WNCC, their second turnover of the game.
Entertaining pace set early in this game.
God dang it!
John Hodges was trying to get Sasha Francis into the game. She didn't quite make it before the ball was put back into play. Now the Dragons in a 4-4 game, 3 minutes in. Ogle on the left wing, out top to Mapasua. Head fakes, drives, kicks it out to Paniora, who tries a 3-pointer. Her shot short, and clearing the board is Mahuku for the Cougars. Tashara Morehouse was a spark plug off the bench for WNCC at the tournament last year. Her Joplin driving into the lane. Her shot blocked by Pepin, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Western Nebraska and 17 to shoot. Now Sasha Francis checks in, coming in for Lauren Mapasua. Francis, a 5'9" sophomore from Largo, Maryland, also checking into the game for the Cougars is Maddie Campbell, a 5'10" freshman forward from Queensland, Australia.
Carp, do you count that as a shot attempt?
Yes, you do. And a block shot. There's a drive-by Pulling up and in again between 2 Dragon players. She has 5 of the 6 Cougar points, and WNCC leads at 6-4, 6:25 here in the opening quarter. Abby Ogleworth it. Out top to Vanette. She tries a 3-pointer. That one too strong. Abby Ogle goes and gets the board herself. Goes up with the right hand and scores. Strong work on the boards by Ogle. And she ties it up at 6. Now, very quickly, Morehouse with the left hand up and good. Dragons didn't pick her up whatsoever. And Western Nebraska with an 8-6 lead. Now 5:55 to play here in the opening quarter. Very quick pace, Dan.
It certainly is. Entertaining basketball.
Between the circles is Michaela Vanette, drives the left side. They're going to call Brooklyn Betham for an illegal screen. That'll be the second Blue Dragon turnover.
Third team foul of the first quarter committed by the Hutchinson Community College Blue Dragons.
So 6-6 the score.
You're guarding your man.
Right, 6 to score. Western Nebraska, chance to improve on a 2-point lead. Tashara Morehouse quickly brings it off a ball screen left, dribbles back to the top of the key, guarded by Ogle. Now dumped in the lane, taken away again by Betham. Turnover number 3 for the Cougars. Here's Ogle all the way. Scoop shot way up, no good, but a foul called, and Abby Ogle will shoot a pair.
Abby Ogle plays as strong and as aggressive of basketball as you're going to see anywhere.
Foul's going to be called on Taylor Joplin, the Garden Plain product. Georgia Berry checks in for the Cougars to replace Lidsey Mahuku. And Abby Ogle, again, 21 points against Western Nebraska a week ago. Gets 2 free throws here. First one, too strong. Free throwing has been a sticking or a sore spot.
Guarantee you it's not from lack of preparation and work.
Ogle's second, good. And the Dragons trail by 1-8-7 with 5:27 to go here in the opening quarter. Neither team is led by more than 3. Right now, Dragons 3 out of 7 shooting. Western Nebraska 3 out of 6. Ziara Coleman in the lane. She dishes it out to Barry, who fires a long 2-pointer. No good. Offensive rebound, Cougars. Tashara Morehouse tries a 3 here, shot no good. Battle for the rebound, again won by the Cougars. Very unlike the Blue Dragons, have been giving up offensive rebounds. Coleman dribbles all the way back out top to Morehouse. Morehouse working against Van Nett. Drives in the lane, kicks it out left side to Antwine, and she hits a 3-pointer. Damone Antwine, who averages 2.5 points per game, hits a 3, and the Cougars have their largest lead of the game at 11-7 with 4:42 to play. Van Nett with the dribble. Out to Ponior, drives the baseline, back out to Michaela. Passes up a 3, drives it in. A lot of contact and a foul called. And Taylor Joplin's going to pick up her second foul for Western Nebraska. Nope, they call her out to Tashara Morehouse.
That's her second. That's right.
So it'll be Michaela. Interesting. Okay, Morehouse and Joplin both came out.
That early second foul committed by Morehouse could have quite an impact on this first quarter with 4:34 to play.
Van Nett did not shoot a free throw in the Washburn game. A 70% free throw shooter as a freshman. Her first one is on the money. Michaela's on the board. The Dragons trail by 3, 8-11, or 11-8, excuse me.
For that Blue Dragon team free throw percentage to increase, just send Van Nett to the free throw line and she'll help.
She gets the second. Michaela's got 2. It's 11-9 Cougars. Lauren Mapasua checks back in, and in for the first time is Sasha Idara out of Molly, 6'5" freshman center. So the Cougars look to improve on a 2-point lead. Maddie Campbell with the ball. Now out top to Barry. Barry gives it off to Antwine. She just hit the 3 a moment ago. Antwine dribbles at the left side, working against Mapasua. She'll dribble out between the circles with 12 to shoot. Antwine looking up a high ball screen drive. That's going to be an offensive foul. Yolanda Valchiva with the illegal screen. And that's 4 turnovers on the Cougars.
4th team foul committed of the quarter, so Hutchinson might be able to go to the line a few times before this quarter's over.
Poniora working against Antwine up the floor. Brings it up to the left hand. Picks up her dribble. A little bit of trouble. Getting close to the 5 count, and there it is. And really, nobody came to help her. So it's another turnover for the Dragons, their 3rd.
Excellent defense. That Cougars defense, very tight that trip.
Lindsay Jabari. On the floor right now for Hutch is Poniora, Ogle, Mapasua, Idara, and Van Nett. 11-9 Cougars, 3:49 to go. Whistle away from the ball, 3-second. 5 turnovers now for the Cougars. Full court pressure by Western Nebraska. Poniora now working one-on-one up the floor and crosses the timeline. Dribbles, bounce pass now to Mapasua. Ogle comes and gets it out between the circles, kicks it left side to Van Nett. Passes up a 3, drives the baseline, gets double teamed. She gives it back out to Ogle. Skip pass right side Mapasua. Lauren drives the baseline and a foul called on the Cougars before the shot. But it will be a bonus situation for Hutchinson as Western Nebraska commits their 5th foul.
Maddie Campbell.
Actually, should be 2 shots.
We got 2.
Now the referees.
Now it'll be a test to see if the officials remember who should go to the free throw line.
Well, Laura helped her out, helped about to it right to the line.
That's right.
So that's a pretty good sign. Right now, Hutch 3 out of 7 shooting. WNCC 4 out of 9. The Cougars have 2 3-pointers. The Dragons 0 of 3 from long distance. Mapasua's first free throw's on the money. And the deficit down to 1 at 11-10. Lauren now with 3. 3:28 to play here in the opening quarter. A very good women's field here in the Atrium Classic. Second free throw rattles out, no good. So the Blue Dragons now 4 out of 6 from the stripe. And the deficit is 1 with WNCC having the ball. Pulling with it. She forces up a 3, no good. Mapasua with the rebound. Dragons left to run. Lauren will now slow it up. Into the hands of Paniora, right side Ogle. Drives with the left hand, skip past left side, Paniora down to the corner. Vanette drives the baseline, pulls up from 12, can't get it to go. Idara, the offensive rebound, goes in strong with the left hand, gets her shot blocked. And coming away with it is Valchiva for the Cougars. It's tough to see a 6'5" kid get your shot blocked, but that's what just happened.
She did a nice job going to collect that offensive rebound, though.
Valchiva tries a 3 and knocks it down. So the Dragons just can't quite get over the hump here in the early going. Lead back to 4 for the Cougars at 14-10. Valchiva has 3. Paniora in the front court. Now on top between the circles, Ogle. Mapasua comes and gets it. Now Vanette. Vanette dribbles, and they're going to call an illegal screen. They're going to get Nafa Idara, and they do. That's another illegal screen. Obviously a point of emphasis tonight for this refereeing crew. 4th turnover by the Blue Dragons. Brooklyn Bethlehem comes back in for Nafa Idara. 14-10 Cougars, 2:20 to play in the opening quarter. WNCC with the ball. Into the high post, Joplin. She tries to square up on Jaleesa Cooper, who's into the game for the first time. Mahuku with it, hands it off to Maddie Campbell. She'll step in, try a long 2, no good. Chasing the rebound down is Lauren Mapasua, and the Dragons look to run. Long pass up forward to Vanette. Had trouble handling it, now it goes underneath down to Cooper. Reverse layup up and good by Jaleesa Cooper.
Didn't take Coop very long to make her presence felt.
She is the 5th Blue Dragon to score. Dragons trail 14-12 with 1:45 to go in the opening quarter. Pulling, left wing extended, working against Vanette. Looking for a ball screen, now drives into the lane between the dribble, loses her control of the ball. Vanette comes up with the steal. Turnover number 6 for WNCC. Now the Dragons can tie it or take the lead with the 3. Vanette out to Paniora. The Dragons set it up with 20 to shoot. Paniora dribbles right side, spins back left, down to the high post, Bethlehem. Bethlehem drives a couple of times with the right hand, kicks it back out, pass deflected and still loose. And it's going to go out of bounds, and they say it's WNCC ball. Turnover number 5. Abby Ogle's going to quickly check back in. Also Presley Barton out of Mill Valley High School, the freshman. The diminutive one is how Cosell would describe players of shorter stature.
I always enjoy increasing my vocabulary when I listen to Steve Carpenter.
Into the paint is Huduku. Her shot no good. Contested by Brooklyn Bethlehem. That's her second rebound of the game. Now bounce pass into the post. Ogle tries a head and shoulder. Goes up with the up and under. Shot no good. Bethlehem gets the rebound and she's fouled on the way up and will shoot 2. Maddie Campbell picks up her second foul. Chad Gibney, 4th-year head coach for Western Nebraska. He's a Lincoln Pius product in high school, but spent some time as a graduate assistant with Greg Marshall at Wichita State.
Just 45 miles from Hutchinson Community College.
Betham hits the free throw. She has 3. The Dragons once again trail by 1, 14-13 with 51.4 seconds to play.
Maybe 50 miles.
Second free throw rattles a couple times and drops in, and we're tied. Betham with 4. Ogle comes out. Cooper and Francis back in.
She used the entire apparatus before it went through, but she had a nice soft touch.
It reminded me of J.J. Rhymes' buzzer beater against Butler a couple years ago down at El Dorado.
Good call.
Here's a driving lane by Pulling, steps up, trying to go give and go, pass deflected. WNCC retains possession. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Big rebound for Brooklyn Betham, her 3rd of the game. 31 seconds left, about a 5-second difference between shot and game clock. We're tied late first quarter. Paniora has it now out between the circles is Francis. In the left corner now, Barton. Barton with the dribble, brings it back out. Cooper has it. 11 to shoot. Cooper tries a three-pointer, hits off the back glass, no good.
A little bit too early.
Running up the floor is Campbell. Now they slow it up. Shot clock off, 8 seconds to go. In the lane is Antwine, all the way to the hoop. She's fouled, she scores, and it counts. Demonay Antwine, she hit a big 3 earlier and a chance at an and 1 here with 4.9 seconds left. Foul will go against Jaleesa Cooper. All kinds of substitutions for Western Nebraska. This was a tight game in the first corner down in the left. Before that, Abby Ogle still right at the buzzer. Antwine's free throw, no good. Battle for the rebound, goes out of bounds to Hutchinson with 3 seconds to go. 16-14. Cooper will inbound it into the hands of Panior. Kyra speeds it up the floor. Take a desperation shot that's way off the mark, and we've reached the end of the first quarter here at the Sports Arena. Through 1, it is Western Nebraska 16, Hutchinson 14. This is Blue Dragon women's basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. And welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarata with you here on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Western Nebraska with a 16-14 lead after 1 quarter. Neither team shot it particularly well. Hutchinson 4 out of 13 with 5 turnovers, 0 of 5 from three-point range, 6 of 8 from distance. Western Nebraska 6 of 15 overall from the field, but they've hit 3 three-pointers and just 1 of 3 out from the line. 6 turnovers for the Cougars. Brooklyn Betham with 4 points to lead Hutchinson. Armani Pulling with 6 points. Desmond Antwine with 5 to lead the Cougars. It'll be Hutchinson basketball to start the second quarter. It'll be Kyra Paniora, Abby Ogle, Brooklyn Betham, Lauren Mapasua, and Michaela Van Ed on the floor for Hutchinson. And Dragons have first possession of the second quarter. Out between the circles is Betham, waiting for Ogle to pop out. She does. Now works the right wing to Mapasua. Van Ed pops out. Driving screen. That trying to plow through the screen was Armani Pulling, and she's going to pick up the foul. Abby was well set there on that screen. So Pulling's first, the team's first, and the Dragons get the shot clock reset to 20. Again, that's a new rule this year. Panior inbounds it to Ogle, who brings it out top. Now to Van Ett. Van Ett being guarded very closely by Pulling. They remember what Van Ett did to him in Lubbock last year. 8 to shoot for the Dragons. Vanette, step back three-pointer on the way. No good. She's 0 for 3 from distance. And Mahuku gets the rebound for Western Nebraska. Cougars try to increase a 2-point lead, running the high ball weave, pulling with it out front, working against Vanette. Drives up a ball screen, now picks up her dribble. Kicks the right side over to Joplin. Joplin goes into the post to Mahuku. Spin around move, shot off the glass, no good. Ogle gets the rebound. Abby pushes it up the floor. It's going to go all the way. Scoop shot up and good. Abby Ogle in transition. She has 5, and we're tied at 16. Rebounds in that first quarter were 10-10. Antoine with the ball. Drives off 2 screens. Goes up with the strong with the right hand and scores off the glass. Chance at another and one. And Abby Ogle will pick up the foul. So that's twice they've gotten some success with that double.
It was executed very well, but it was a tough finish for Antoine. Did a nice job to collect the and one.
They missed on their first opportunity at a traditional three-point play. Second one bounces off the iron and drops in. Antoine with 8, and the Cougars lead by 3, 19 to 16. Paniora into the front court. Dragons run the high weave. Over with it on the right wing. Dribbles out top with the left hand. Now takes it all the way. Abby goes up. A lot of contact and a foul call eventually.
Good hard drive by Abby Ogle.
And it will be Armani Pulling who picks up her second. So Tashara Morehouse and now Armani Pulling both have 2. And that's the 2 spark plug guards for Western Nebraska. Morehouse will check back in for Pulling. Abby Ogle, 5 points in this one, 1 of 2 from the line. A 2-shot opportunity here. Crowd growing here. Free throw good. Be the Blue Dragon men's home opener tonight as they take on Murray State here in the Atrium Classic.
Second time in the last 30 seasons, did you say, Carp, that the season opener was not at home?
Yep. 1 out of 2 for Ogle. And it's a Dragon deficit now taken away by Abby. Abby dribbles, gets 1-2, pulls up from 8 feet, can't get the shot to go. And Joplin getting the rebound for WNCC. Dragons just cannot get quite over the hump right now. Morehouse fakes off a screen, now picks up her dribble. Antoine comes out to get it. She'll set it up between the circles. 15 to shoot. Is Campbell. Dumps it inside. Ball loose. Out of bounds to Hutchinson. Another turnover. That'll be turnover number 8 for the Cougars. Abby Ogle comes out. Lauren Mapasua, or excuse me, Jaleesa Cooper back in.
Full court man-to-man defense.
Tori Alford, the starting point guard, on the bench with 2 fouls right now. So the Dragons just kind of trying to tread water without their starting point guard. Cooper with the left wing. 1 dribble with the right hand, dumps it underneath to Mapasua. Turn around jump shot way off the mark. Ball still loose into the hands of Mapasua. Now here's Adara in the paint, in the lane. Spin move, shot, rolls on the iron and in. Nafa Adara gets her first bucket, and the game is tied at 19. That was a nice move in the paint.
That is definitely an indication that Nafa has been working on her post moves with the coaching staff.
7:10 to go, tied at 19. Morehouse drives, pulls up from 15, shot too strong. Getting the rebound is Antoine again. Cougars right now owning the boards. There's a travel on a drive by Antoine. 9th turnover. Rebounds now 13-13, but the Cougars have 4 offensive boards. Paniora comes out, Tori Alford back in. So Tori basically sat a little more than a quarter with those 2 fouls. Dragons look for their first lead since 3-0. Right side with it is Mapasua. She dumps it into Alford, who loses control, and it's turnover number 6 for the Blue Dragons. Morehouse dishes it out to Joplin for the Cougars. Coming out to get it is Antoine with the dribble, guarded closely by Cooper. Bounce pass underneath now to Joplin. Turnaround jumper, good. Nice fadeaway for Taylor Joplin.
Joplin's a good quality player. We saw her for years at Garden Plain High School.
21-19 and a bad pass by Alford. That's back-to-back turnovers. And just like that, Pontiora is going to come back in for Alford. So you worry about that as a freshman. You pick up 2 fouls, and then you sit for a while, and you just kind of lose focus. And I think that's what happened to Tori Alford.
They tried to post her up against Morehouse, who also has 2 fouls and is quite a bit shorter than Alford, but it just didn't work out the previous possession.
Tashar Morehouse slowly up the floor. Now picks up speed, drives, tries to dump it underneath. Ball deflected, taken away by Hadar, but taken right back by Morehouse. She dribbles the left hand, pulls up from 15 and rattles it home.
Pretty shot.
Morehouse with 4. It's a 4-point Cougar lead. 23-19, 5:50 to play, second quarter. Mapasua on the right wing. Looks to go inside. Cooper comes out to get it. Now Van Etten dribbles with the left side. They want to post up Idara. Dragons reset. Cooper with 10. She'll force up a 3-pointer way off the mark. No good. And the Cougars come away with it. Not in the good offensive possession. Now they're running. And the pass too high for Lindsay Mahuku. That's a hard name when you're trying to say it on the fly.
If it was a football game, she would have caught it beyond the end of the end zone on, on that pass.
Yes, a replay would not have overturned it. Jack Gibney substituting very liberally. Yulana Valchiva back in. Also Dakota Duplessis. And the Dragons look to cut a 4-point deficit. Van Etten with it. Picks up her dribble down to the high post Ogle. Right back to Van Etten. Michaela, again, being guarded very closely, this time by Armani Pooling. Here's Mapasua right back to Van, who hits the 3 from the right corner. That is career 3, number 96 for Van. And believe me, the Cougars remember that. She hit 6 of them in the national tournament last year. Dragons trail by 1, 23-22. Just under 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Barry with the ball. Hands it off to Campbell. Campbell dribbles high. Taken away by Ogle. What's new there? Abby will push it up with the left hand. It's going to go all the way. A lot of contact. Kicks it back out to Pontiora. Now Mapasua. Right side Van Etten. Another 3-pointer. Good! Back-to-back threes for Michaela Van Etten. The Dragons have a 25-23 lead. Near takeaway by Ogle, or by Van Etten. And Pulling has to chase it down in the backcourt. When Van gets rolling, it's something to watch from distance.
She's finding her stroke, and she likes that corner.
Pulling in the lane. Tries a tough shot, no good. Van Etten pulls the rebound. Dragons have numbers if they go quickly. Up ahead to Ogle. Ogle is going to take all the way. Scoop shot off the back iron, no good. Idar with the rebound. Her putback goes halfway in and comes back out. Tough opportunity missed there for the Dragons. Now a near steal by Ogle. She became a fan favorite. Plays like that.
A couple of possessions ago, she was actually beat on the backdoor cut, but she doesn't give up when she's beat. She continues to compete, and she ended up coming up with the steal just because she continued to play hard.
30-second timeout taken by Western Nebraska. 3:52 to go, second quarter. Dragons 25, Western Nebraska 23. We'll take a quick break on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. With you. And what are the numbers saying right now?
Western Nebraska 9 of 22 for about 43%. All of the statistics look pretty doggone close, as is this game. The rebounds are 23 for Western Nebraska, 25 for Hutchinson.
Van Nett, Kyla Paniora, and Sasha Francis on the floor right now. Dump pass inside, ball loose, bodies on the floor. It'll be a tie possession and stay with Western Nebraska and 18 to shoot. Dragons really clogging up the middle, making the entry passes for the Cougars extremely difficult. Damon Antwine comes in, replacing Dakota Duplessis. Cougars the inbound baseline, left side. Bus deflected by Ogle. Coming up with it is Van Nett. Turnover number 11 for the Cougars. Ogle in the left corner. Now with the dribble, brings it back out. Whistle away from the ball. And it's going to be a Cougar foul. And it'll be against Georgia Berry. Her second team foul, or third team foul, excuse me. Hutchinson with only one foul here in the second quarter. So the Dragons have 21 to shoot. Paniora to inbounds, baseline to right side. Inbound to Ogle. Now at top, Van Nett. Francis comes and gets it. Francis dribbles once out to Van Nett. Van drives the baseline between a couple of players, dumps it to Betham. Her shot up and good. She's fouled and it counts.
Such a well-designed offensive set, Carp. They were initially looking to get Van Nett coming off the flare screen for a three-point shot. The Cougars defended it well, so the Blue Dragons went on to the next option with Van Nett driving it to the paint and dishing it to Betham.
Third foul whistle on Maddie Campbell. She'll check out of the game.
That could be big.
Lindsay Mahuku back in, and Brooklyn Betham a chance at an and one. Brooklyn was 6. She's 2 of 4 from the line. Looks much more confident on the offensive end than she did 1 week ago. This free throw no good. Dragons continue to struggle from the line. Now 7 out of 11. Doesn't sound bad, but that's a couple of and ones that the Dragons have missed. Now pulling with it. Cougars trailing by 4. Ball taken away by Betham. Francis takes it into the forecourt now. Sets up in the half court. Francis gets it back from Paniora. Looking for cutters underneath the Van Nett. Skip pass left side to Cooper. She'll drive it in the lane. Take it up. And score! Delisa Cooper on a feed from Michaela Van Nett. WNCC wants a timeout. Or do we get a timeout? 30-second timeout taken by the Cougars. We'll take it with them. Dragons have their largest lead, 29-23. 2:49 to go. This is Blue Dragon basketball.
Cooper. There we go. Cool. You can't go like 3 here. You got it while I tweet. Oh, sure. Come back now.
Good to be with you. This is the Hutchinson Sports Arena. It's the Atrium Classic. The Atrium is a hotel here in Hutchinson, Kansas. They're sponsoring this classic with 4 teams here at the Sports Arena. Or, excuse me. Really, 4 teams, 4 games a day. 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow.
And the Blue Dragons will play Antioch tomorrow. Western Nebraska will play Barton. Cougars with the ball now. Tashara Morehouse goes with the left hand, kicks it out to Balchiva. She'll try a three-pointer. Shot off the mark, no good. Delisa Cooper chases it down. Getting pressure from behind by Morehouse. Somehow gets off to Van Nett. Van dribbles it, now double team to bring it back out. Dragons reset it. 2:25 to go here in the half. Dragons look to improve an 8-point lead. Francis with the dribble. Wants to go underneath and pass too high for Betham. Turnover Hutchinson. It'll be turnover number 10.
Western Nebraska switched up their defense on that trip coming out of the timeout, and it created a little bit of difficulty for Hutchinson.
29-23, Cougars with the ball. 2:10 to play. Morehouse into the forecourt, working against Paniora. Did a nice job defensively. Morehouse off a step back three-pointer. Her shot off the mark, going high to get the rebound is Delisa Cooper. Paniora behind the back, dribbles to the left side, cut off by Morehouse. Cooper now between the circles, waiting for movement, wants to post up Betham. Now she brings it over to the right side. Cooper still with the dribble, picks it up. In a little bit of trouble, high post now Betham. Betham squares up, tries a 17-footer. Off the front iron, no good. And the Cougars get the rebound. Here comes Morehouse. Got to stop ball early with her. Three-pointer on the way by Joplin, no good. Cougars come away with the offensive rebound. They get a new 20 here. Here's Morehouse into the paint and a foul on Jaleel. Got the corner. Cooper committed the foul with a hold, her second.
Just the second team foul committed by Hutchinson in this second quarter.
Cooper and Betham both come out. Ogle and Hidara come in. So it's Abby Ogle, Nafa Hidara, Sasha Francis, Michaela Van Nett, and Kyra Panior on the floor for Hutchinson. Three-pointer on the way by Pulling, no good. Bounces high and out of bounds, and they say it stays with the Cougars. Last touch by Hutch, 1:13 to go.
Cougars have now missed 6 consecutive field goal attempts. That Hutchinson defense has a lot to do with that.
Morehouse inbounds, baseline right side out to Pulling. They want to post up. Barry haven't had much luck. Morehouse loses control, chases that, and there loses her balance. Still with the dribble. There's a dump inside, knocked away, but right into the hands of Joplin. She kicks out, Pulling with a wide open look at a three. That's way too strong. And Sasha Francis going high for the board. Splits between two defenders and is fouled, trying to get up the floor. And it should be on Valchiva.
And that's the 5th foul committed by Western Nebraska.
And they call that on Tashara Morehouse. That'll be her 3rd.
Wow, I was just about to comment that they're living dangerously, leaving Morehouse on the court with 2 fouls in this final minute of the first half.
And Chad Gibney does not appear like he's in any mood to bring her out. So Sasha Francis, 2 for 2 the other night, rattles home the first. She had 4 points against the Washburn JV in a 65-34 win. Dragons lead at 30-23, the 7-point margin, their largest. Second free throw off the mark. Pulling gets the rebound. Dragons now 8 of 12 from the line. Morehouse off to Pulling. She goes into the lane with the right hand. High shot up off the glass, no good, but she draws the foul on Idara. And I believe that'll be her second.
Good hard drive. And she did it quickly enough that Western Nebraska can get a 2-for-1 at the end of the second quarter. Two possessions for 1.
Brooklyn Betham back in. Ziara Coleman and Nia Brown in for the Cougars. So it's two free throws for Pulling. Armani was 6 points in the early going. Make it 7. 2 of 3 from the line. One of the
scored the first.
She knocks down both and will be replaced by Demone Antwine. 30-25, Hutchinson the lead. Cougars will get another possession. About 11-second difference between shot and game clock. Panior into the front court. Dribbles to the right wing. Van Nett comes out between the circles. Drives left off the ball screen to Betham. Now back right side. Van Nett drives, pulls it out. Panior tries a three-pointer. Air ball. And collecting the rebounds, Georgia Berry. Shot clock off. So Western Nebraska can get the final shot here.
By my count, both teams have attempted 27 shots.
Antwine kicks left side. Good defense by Panior. Here's a drive by Antwine out to Joplin. Joplin drives. He's going to take it to the hoop. Running jump shot off the glass, no good. We've come to halftime. So good defense by the Dragons on the final possession, and they maintain a 5-point lead of 30-25 over the Western Nebraska Cougars. Coming up at halftime, we will have stats, and Dan and I will talk a little bit more about not only what we expect to go happen in the rest of this game, a little bit about Blue Dragon basketball, the action here tomorrow. At halftime, it is Hutchinson 30, Western Nebraska 25. You are listening and watching Blue Dragon basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. It is halftime at the Atrium Classic here at the Hutchinson Sports Arena. Hutchinson, Western Nebraska, 30-25 in a rematch of last year's NJCAA tournament opener. Steve Carpenter and Dan Nacarado with you. It was 16-14 Western Nebraska after one, and then the Blue Dragons outscored Western Nebraska 16-9. In the second quarter, the Dragons hit a couple of three-pointers, 6 of 14 overall. What do the rest of the numbers look like, Dan Nacarado?
Well, statistically, it's a pretty tight game, Carp. The Western Nebraska Cougars, 9 of 27 from the field for 33%, 3 of 11 from three-point range, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. 21 rebounds collected by Western Nebraska compared to 18 rebounds by the Hutchinson Blue Dragons. That's a little bit of an anomaly. We're used to seeing Hutchinson out-rebound their opponents each and every quarter in most seasons. On the points, 2 players with 8 points apiece for Western Nebraska. Armani Poling scored 8, and Desmone Antoine with 8 points. 25 total for Western Nebraska. For the Hutchinson Blue Dragons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different players in the scoring column, led by Michaela Van Ed on the strength of 2 3-point baskets in the second quarter. Van Ed with 8 points. 6 points apiece for Kyra Paniora and Abby Ogle. Other players who scored for the Blue Dragons, Jaleisha Cooper with 4 points, Lauren Mapasua with 3, Nafa Hadara. And in class, I have her in class. I had her repeat her name about. Pronounces it Hydra. So it's Nafa Tumata Hydra.
There you go.
I'll try to keep on working. I've heard if you say it 3 times, then you remember it forever. Nafa out of Mali. And Sasha Francis scored 1 free throw for the Blue Dragons, who put in 30 points in that first half. 10 of 27 from the field. 2 of 10 from three-point range. And other than Michaela Van Ett scoring 2 of them, no one else made a three-point basket. 8 of 13 from the free throw line. The Blue Dragons committed 8 turnovers, and the Cougars committed 12.
Now, one thing not to be overlooked is something that you won't see on the stat sheet, but very early on, Tori Alford, the Blue Dragons starting point guard, picked up 2 very quick fouls. Enter Kyra Paniora. While she's 0 for 3 shooting-wise, the job she's done on Tashara Morehouse and Armani Poling defensively, I think that speaks volumes.
Well, and also Morehouse picking up that 3rd foul just within the last minute of the end of the second quarter could prove to be a big factor in this basketball game.
So the Blue Dragons lead at 30-25 at halftime. Coming up after this one, Dan Nacarado will be joined by the voice of Blue Dragon men's basketball, Glenn Grunwald, as Hutchinson's men as their 2019-20 season home opener, against a very good Murray State team. Murray State lost to number 2 Ranger on Tuesday night. It was a fairly close game up until about the last 8 minutes before Ranger pulled away. So is equally good as the women's field here is here at the Atrium Classic. The women's field, or the men's field, pretty stellar itself.
These teams are playing a pretty rugged out-of-conference schedule, going on the road more often than we see in a lot of years, and playing some pretty tough competition.
Yeah, normally you see a lot of, especially the women. It's honestly, it's very tough scheduling the women, especially the classics. The way the scheduling is at the sports arena now, with all the postseason volleyball tournaments, the NJCAA tournament, the KCAC tournament, the 3A, 4A tournament, where Hutchinson used to play host to 6 classics a year. This is the only one this year. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to schedule teams to come in here for single games. That said, the quality of this non-conference schedule. Two JV teams. Blue Dragons already played one. They'll play the Bethany JV again in January, in the middle of the conference season, and then Division II, Heston College comes here on Tuesday night. But that said, the youth on this team with the strength of schedule really makes this first part of the season, the pre-Christmas part of the season, very important.
It could actually work to the advantage of the Hutchinson Community College teams. And again, the reason for that scheduling, what are some of the other events going on here at the Sports Arena, Steve?
You've got the NJCA volleyball tournament. You've got the KCAC tournament. Those are on back-to-back weekends. Again, we just got done with 3A, 4A state volleyball, which kicked the Blue Dragon men off to Liberal last week. So November, since the renovation of the Sports Arena, this is a very busy place. And sometimes the Blue Dragons always don't get those number of home games early on that they're accustomed to. Again, that's a good thing. I think going out on the road, it builds a little bit of character.
I think the people of Hutchinson would agree that we're happy that the Sports Arena, Gallon Stadium, and all the facilities are being used frequently for a variety of events. But if you're coaching at Hutchinson Community College, you'd kind of like to have your home facility available to you a little bit more often.
It is 6 one way, half a dozen the other. But this is it always was a premier facility, but they've taken a premier facility and just made it out of this world. People just rave about this. 3A, 4A volleyball says they never want to leave.
Well, it's a fantastic facility, and it's right in the center of Hutchinson, where you see a lot of facilities are kind of on the outskirts of a community. The Hutchinson Sports Arena, Gallon Stadium, Hutchinson Community College, right in the center of Hutchinson, which in my opinion is the center of the universe, the center of the garden spot of the universe here. But we know there's a lot of other communities around the country that are very proud of what they have to offer as well, and it's always fun to visit those places. You're going to be visiting somewhere tomorrow. As a matter of fact, are you hitting the road tonight?
As soon as the men's game is over, we get all the equipment packed up. We are headed northeast to Fort Dodge, Iowa. Glenn Grunwald and myself, along with Randy McKay, and part of my video crew is going to head north so we can bring you Blue Dragon football tomorrow.
So you have about a 7-hour drive in front of you tonight.
About a 7-hour drive. We'll
sleep is way overrated.
Exactly. I don't do it this time of year anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be a grinder day. So you'll be back here tomorrow. Darren Dunn will be kind enough to pick up the play-by-play duties, both for the men and the women tomorrow night. Dan will be here with him. Then you and I'll be back at it again on Tuesday night when Heston comes to town. And then you get to do the Blue Dragon men and Nenio, which will be an entertaining ball game.
The opportunity to not only watch the Blue Dragons in action, but to listen to your play-by-play. I told you before the game started, it's like you gave me a giant truckload of peanut M&Ms. I like it so much. But I think this is a little healthier, watching the game and listening to you rather than munching on those M&Ms. Hey, I have a quick trivia fact for you that you probably already know because you know all things Nebraska.
Right.
But in taking a look at Western Nebraska at Scotts Bluff, I did not realize there is a Hall of Fame National Football League player that went to school there.
Yes, and right now the name escapes me, but yeah, throw it at me. I'm going to kick myself when I hear the name.
He has a really cool nickname.
Boy, it's not coming to me right now.
Dick Night Train Lane.
That's right, Night Train Lane.
And it's such an interesting story. He went to Scotts Bluff to go to college in the late 1940s.
Yes.
And then he went to the military for a little while, came back and went straight to the National Football League. And I think he has a rookie record that still stands today in the NFL. 14 interceptions his rookie season.
I believe you're right.
That was with the Los Angeles Rams, and then he went to the St. Louis Cardinals and then finished his career with the Detroit Lions. Do you know where he got his nickname, Carp?
That I don't know.
Well, my gosh, very seldom do I know a tidbit that you don't know. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
It's actually because his roommate played a record called Night Train, and he played it over and over again. And
you go.
So all his friends started calling him Night Train. So it has absolutely nothing to do with football, really, although he was a very crushing tackler from what I understand. But his nickname was actually from the song.
Very good. Well, that kind of leads to the nickname that we gave Terrell Lane, Blue Dragon running back from a few years back out of Norton. We called him the Norton Night Train. So
that's good stuff.
So we are at halftime. We're going to take about a 90-second break and get you set up for the second half. It's the Blue Dragons 30, Western Nebraska Cougars 25. This is Blue Dragon basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the Sports Arena, about a minute and a half away from the second half tip. And just to our left over here, there's a discussion going on. Blue Dragon assistant coach Travis Kirk, Western Nebraska. And I guess there's a dispute on the fouls by Tashara Morehouse, but all up and down the table here, we all concur that she picked up 3 fouls in that opening half.
Well, Carp, you've been kind enough, you and Steve Kappenman, to allow me to keep the scorebook for many Blue Dragon basketball games. So out of force of habit, I still keep a scorebook during the broadcast while we're on the air. And as you said, everybody on press row and the official score and the scoreboard as well displayed the correct number of fouls. So I'm not sure why there is any kind of controversy whatsoever.
Well, I think I might know where the dispute might be. Remember, that was her second foul, and they whistled on her, and I thought it was, I want to say it was on Valchiva. So
that's right.
I'm wondering if
it was clearly reported.
It was clearly reported. And called out.
In that type of situation, if there's any disagreement about whether the official reported the right number or not, you almost have to deal with it right then and there.
Yeah.
Pretty tough to wait.
Right. Yeah, there's no replay at our level of basketball, and even at that, I don't think that is a play that can be reviewed even at the college level. So Tashara Morehouse is going to have 3 fouls as she takes the floor here in the second half. And do not be surprised. In fact, the discussion is still going on now with the official book and all 3 officials. If you remember, it was 2 quick fouls, and that second one was the questionable one. Again, I thought it was called on another player, but then it was instantly reported number 4.
Exactly.
So, don't think Western Nebraska has any room for movement here. So Morehouse is going to be on the floor along with Valchiva, Lindsay Mahuku. Also Armani Pulling. The Blue Dragons will be Ogle, Alford, Betham, Vanette, and Mapasua, the same starting 5. Hutchinson basketball to start the second half. And now I believe a technical foul has been called on Chad Gibney.
Well, at some point, it's time that you've made your case and it's continued his case a little bit beyond the time it was going to be acceptable for the officials.
I agree. Again, it was, I can tell you where the dispute was, but it was clearly reported that Morehouse picked up her third foul. So now officially the technical assessed to the bench against Chad Gibney. So who will shoot the free throws? It'll be Michaela Van Nett.
I think that's a good choice.
Not too bad, not too bad. Van Nett, 8 points in the first half. Blue Dragons were 8 out of 13 from the line. Van's first free throw short.
Good opportunity for the Blue Dragons to pick up a bonus point here.
Second, makes it 31-25. And now back to point of interruption, and the Blue Dragons were set to inbound for the second half. So again, Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarata with you on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Brandon Sams running the video up top. Very appreciative of him. We're underway. Tori Alford brings it up against Tashara Morehouse. She brings it to the right side. Mapasua pops out. Left side now to Van Nett. They want to go inside to Betham. Now the entry pass taken away by pulling. Turnover number 11 for the Blue Dragons.
Good defense, good on-ball defense, created that turnover.
Morehouse between the circles, dribbles right side. Joplin now between the circles. Coming out to get it now is pulling. Skip pass right side. Joplin drives. Her shot no good. May have been partially deflected. Betham chases down the board in the corner. Now the Dragons look to push. Alford across the timeline. Slows it up. Top of the key, Betham right side. Now Van Nett. Van will dribble back out top. 15 to shoot for the Dragons. Mapasua between the circles. Alford left wing. Alford kicks it off to Mapasua. Takes it into the lane. Her shot hits the side of the backboard. Tough shot. Now the Cougars. Morehouse 1-on-2. Kicks it to a running, pulling her layup good. She's fouled and it counts.
And that breaks an 0 for 9 from the field streak by Western Nebraska.
Abby Ogle commits the foul. Her second. There'll be a chance at an and one for Armani Pulling. Pulling misses the free throw. Brooklyn Betham gets her 6th board of the game. She had 13 against Washburn. Here's Ogle with it. So with the dribble, brings him back out. Van Nett comes out to get it. 31-27 the score. Dragons by 4. Top of the key, Ogle. Now Mapasua. Lauren takes it down to the, instead of her pass deflected. Betham couldn't handle it. 2 turnovers in the second half. Here's Pulling in the lane, tries to dump down the pass. It's deflected out of bounds by Ogle.
Betham was coming to set an on-ball screen and was not expecting the ball to be rifled at her chin.
From about 3 feet. Morehouse inbounds at the Pulling. Fade away to her shot short. Big rebound by Lauren Mapasua. Shot off the glass, can't get it to go. And now a travel called on the Cougars. Lindsay Mahuku was ready to outlet it, and she shuffled the feet. So the Dragons get a reprieve on that possession. Another tough shot by Mapasua. Alford inbounds it to Ogle. Western Nebraska's picked up the defensive intensity here. Here's Van Nett. She'll pull up from 8 and miss everything, and a foul called Betham over the back. Foul. 5 different players with 2 fouls.
And for Western Nebraska, Morehouse and Campbell with 3 fouls apiece.
Morehouse in the lane, pull up, shot blocked by Alford. Ball still loose. Somehow Morehouse comes up with it. No other Blue Dragon went to chase it down. 15 on the shot for the Cougars. Morehouse looks to drive off of Joplin ball screen, sets it up again. Now into the high block is Joplin. Right back to Morehouse. So drive against Alford, step back, shot. High archer is good.
Pretty shot. It was a 2 though, wasn't it?
It was a long 2. 6 for Morehouse, the lead cut to 2. 31-29, 7:20 to go, third quarter. There's a lob into the paint from a triple team, taken away by the Cougars. They can tie or take the lead. Tough start for the Dragons. Pulling her pull-up, no good. Mapasua gets the rebound, speeds it up the floor. Not really numbers, but now Van Nett tries a three right side. Her shot hits the front iron. Now the Cougars look to run. Behind the back is Morehouse. Ahead to Pulling with the left hand. She takes the baseline and a foul called. Pulling goes down. And the foul will be whistled against Lauren Mapasua, her first. So a tough start by the Dragons to start.
The technical foul free throw, the only point of the quarter. 6:55 to go in the third.
Inbounder is Morehouse. She'll throw it out top to Pulling. Waits for a ball screen. Sets it up again. Dragons double team. Kicked out. Joplin tries a three-pointer. Knocks it down. Taylor Joplin with her first three-pointer. She has 5, and the Cougars take a 32-31 lead. And so far, it is all Western Nebraska here in the third quarter. A 7-1 start. Here's a drive by Van Nett. Up and under move. She can't get the shot to go. Gets her own rebound. Follow-up shot blocked by Valchiva. And here come the Cougars. Pulling. Leaves it off for Morehouse. She'll try a three-pointer. That one hits the iron. Put back in, though, by Mahuku. It's a 9-1 start for the Cougars. And it's 34-31 as John Onchus wants a timeout. So Western Nebraska comes out on a 9-1 run to start the second half. 6:10 to play here in the third quarter. Western Nebraska 34, Hutchinson 31. This is Blue Dragon basketball. So John Onchus takes a 30 to stem the tide.
4 field goals scored by Western Nebraska in the early going of the third quarter. Field free throw, and that was from the technical foul assessed.
Sasha Francis into the game for Lauren Mapasua. She has the ball left wing extended now out top to Van Nett. Steps by one defender, three-pointer on the way. Good! Michaela with her third three, career 98th, and that ties it up at 34. Stops a 9-1 Cougar run. Morehouse, now Valchiva with it. Ball worked around to Pulling, or excuse me, that's Antwine. Joplin tries another three coming off a ball screen, no good. Ball is loose, and Brooklyn rebound of the game. Here's Ogle in between the circles. Look to go into a cutter. Now a bad pass taken away by Morehouse. Another Dragon turnover, the fourth of the quarter. Morehouse into the paint. She scores. She's fouled, and it counts. Morehouse.
5 to go in the third quarter.
36-34 Cougars. Another three-point play opportunity. This is the 5th one of the game for Western Nebraska. Free throw good. 9 points now for Morehouse. She comes out. Pulling comes in. Sasha Francis comes out for Hutchinson. Lauren Mapasua.
Western Nebraska continues to maintain a slight rebounding edge in this game. 28-23, and that's probably the difference in the game.
Bad pass by Van Nett, and it's the 5th turnover of the quarter for Hutchinson.
Turnovers at 13 apiece for the game.
So now the Cougars look to extend a 3-point lead. Pass underneath, and it's thrown away. Joplin's pass down to Mahuku. Not handled. Turnover number 14 for the Cougars.
Mahuku did a pretty nice job of establishing position in the post. Hutchinson is fortunate that that pass sailed out of bounds.
Alford coming up court against Antwine. But She goes right side now. Ball worked out top to Ogle. Ogle picks up her dribble. Alford with it on the right wing. Wants to post up Mapasua. She gets double teamed. Wraparound pass underneath the Bethel. She goes up. She's fouled and it counts on a feed from Lauren Mapasua. It's a chance at an and one for Brooklyn Bethel to tie this game up.
It's also the third foul committed by Armani Pulling.
8 points now. That was nice recognition by Mapasua.
She felt the double team and then found her open teammate.
Free throw too strong. It's loose. They're going to get Abby Ogle over the back. So loose ball foul, and that'll be the third on Abby Ogle.
And the Cougars will go to the other end to shoot 2 free throws.
As a team, Western Nebraska 58.9%. They're a gifted bunch of shooters, so I think that's more of an anomaly.
I'm really so impressed by how both teams have scouted their opponents, and you can tell on the defensive end, they pretty much know what's coming and they're prepared for it.
Georgia Berry misses the first.
Both teams very well coached.
Cougars by 1. 4:41 to go. Cougars by 2. Berry hits 1 out of 2. Nafa Idara comes into the game. Big minutes now for Nafa. Yeah, she's going to have to own the paint on both ends of the floor. Dragons trail by 2. Alford working up against Antwine. Crosses over, brings it to the right side. Van Ed has it. Looks to go inside. Ogle has to come out to help her. Right back to Van Ed. One dribble to the right side. Wants to go. Whistle and a foul away from the ball. And I think they're going to get Georgia Berry.
Georgia Berry was playing very physical defense with Nafa.
Second foul on Berry. Second team foul to have. Alford inbounds to Van Ed. Right back to Alford. Torrey with the dribble. Crosses over to the right side now between the circles. To Mapasua, left side to Ogle, 10 to shoot. Lauren drives in the lane with the left hand, gets stripped. And it's a tied possession. It'll go over to Western Nebraska. Turnover number 15 for Hutch. The speed they play, there's going to be some turnovers, but I know unforced turnovers like that drive John Onches crazy. So now the Cougars try to boost a 2-point lead here. Here's Antwine driving left side into the corner. 3-pointer on the way by Pulling, no good. Going down to the floor and hitting it hard is Valchiva, but she's tied up. And it'll be Blue Dragon basketball with 3:50 to play.
Good hustle by both teams.
Western Nebraska's outscored Hutch 13-6 here in the game in the second with a 16-9 period. Alford brings it across. Working against Antwine. Van Ed pops out between the circles. Drives left off a ball screen. Shot not there. Now she goes off a screen of Ogle. Tries a 3-pointer. This one way off. And Maddie Campbell gets the rebound for the Cougars. She brings it into the front court herself. Cut off by Mapasua. Ball loose. And now foul called. I believe they're going to get Idara.
That is a tough whistle because she had lost her balance and was on the floor.
So Nafa picks up her third, and Yulana Valchiva will shoot 2. 3:25 to go.
Nafa lost her balance. She was horizontal on the court, and Valchiva started to dribble and tripped over her, and that drew the foul.
No discussion at the table. I think they want clarification on who the foul was called on. And we'll have further talks.
The technical foul earlier in the half on Western Nebraska counts as a team foul. The Cougars have 3.
Okay, that's just a clarification on the team foul. Denny Steckline, the book, brought him over. It was a Class A technical, so it becomes a team foul as well. So now back to business. Valchiva's first free throw, good. She has 4. She had a big early 3-pointer. 39-36 the score. Western Nebraska on top. Second one, no good. High for the rebound is Ogle. Ogle works it up against Valchiva. Now offered into the corner. Mapasua tries a three way too early. And now come back the Cougars. Dragons get back defensively. Here's Morehouse deep, looking to post up. Now she brings it and will go off a high ball screen left. Pulls up from 15. Her shot rattles off. Adara the rebound. Ogle looks to push for the Dragons. Behind the back, loses control of it. Kicked right into the hands of Tashara Morehouse. They run. Here's a drive and a foul. Valchiva's fouled.
Cougars did a nice job of pushing the ball up the court quickly.
Fourth foul on Tori Alford. Abby Ogle's going to come out as well. Jalisa Cooper and Kyra Paniora into the line. And there's 2 free throws for Valchiva, who just missed or went 1 out of 2 a moment ago at the line. First free throw, no good. And it stays at a 3-point Dragon deficit with 2:49 to go, 39-36. Valchiva with 1 more. She gets that one. She now has 5. Western Nebraska leads Hutch 40-36, 2:49 to go. Zaria Coleman in for the Cougars. It's Paniora, Cooper, Adara, Mapasua, Van Nett on the floor for John Otches. Cooper with it. Now right wing is Mapasua inside to Adara. Foul called and another foul from behind on Georgia Berry. It'll be her 3rd. It's the 4th team foul for the Cougars, so the Dragons will shoot the rest of the way. Shot clock reset to 20. Kyra Panior to inbounds baseline left side. Gets it into Van Nett. Bounce pass into the high post Cooper. She drives, gets a shot to go off the glass. Nice body control over Joplin. Cooper scores. It's 40-38. Now back the other way. There's a drive into the paint by Coleman, and she's fouled. So Western Nebraska, after the Dragon makes, speeds it up the floor.
Sometimes that's the best strategy to beat your opponent down the court after a made basket.
Cooper picks up her 3rd foul. First free throw by Coleman is good. She's in the books. Second free throw, that one off the mark. Berry chases down to the corner. The Cougars continue their possession, leading by 3. Here's Morehouse in the lane, steps back, kicks out to Joplin for a 3. Here off the right side, no good. Morehouse gets the rebound. She tries a 3-pointer right corner and hits it. That time, the Dragons were just out-hustled to a pair of offensive rebounds in the trail by 6, 44-38 with 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Dragons need an offensive answer here. Mapasua dribbles in the backcourt, working against Coleman. Now she drives off a ball screen, top of the key. Cooper now right wing. 12 to shoot for the Dragons. Cooper still with it, gives it off to Mapasua, now left side to Paniora. She drives against a triple team. May have traveled, kicks it out to Cooper, 4 to shoot. Cooper drives, her shot short. And battle for the ball won by the Cougars. 90 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Antoine into the lane, or into the forecourt. Pass saved from going out of bounds by Morehouse. And now a foul away from the ball. And that might be Cooper's 4th. It is. So Cooper picks up her 4th foul. Into the game is Nia Brown. She started, hasn't seen much action. Taylor Joplin, the Garden Plain, Kansas product, 15-point per game scorer, gets 2 free throws, and she hits the first.
Was that my imagination, or did she bank that one in?
She did bank that in. Joplin now with 6. It's a 6-point Cougar lead. Second one good.
If you shoot them straight, the ball has a chance to go in, even if it's long.
Valchiva comes in to replace Joplin. And it is a 8-point Cougar lead, their largest of the game. 46-38. 80 seconds to go here in the quarter. Paniora hesitates, drives it into the lane. Her wraparound pass is knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Dragons at 19 to shoot. Kyra inbounds, baseline right side, looking into the corner. Mapasua head fakes it 3, picks up her dribble in the paint. She's in trouble, and she's going to get called for 3 seconds. Dragons have had a tough third quarter. It's a 21-8 third quarter for Western Nebraska as Hutchinson commits its 16th turnover. So credit to Western Nebraska defense.
Hutchinson just has not been able to find any open, easy baskets in this quarter.
With it is Coleman. Valchiva comes out to get it. Now Antoine. Dribbles left off a ball screen. Working against Van Nat. Goes to the right hand. Drives with the right hand. No good. Tip try, no good. Coming out of the way is, or out of the pile is Cooper. Going one-on-one. Jaleesa Cooper layup. Good. Coast to coast is Cooper. She has 8. And the Dragons trail 46 seconds difference between shot and game clock.
One of the few fast break layup opportunities, maybe the only one that's been uncontested in the entire
to her. Working against Cooper, she's got 4. Dragons switch on the screen, spin in the lane. Wild shot, no good. Ball loose, picked up by Coleman. Shot clock with 2. This shot is blocked on the three-pointer. The initial line was blocked. Shot clock goes off. 3.3 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Dragons are going to have to go about three-quarter court. Inbound to Paniora. She speeds up the floor. And I don't think Mapasua's shot got off, and it didn't. We've completed 3 here in the Sports Arena at the Atrium Classic. It's Western Nebraska 46, Hutchinson 40. Back with the fourth quarter. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Welcome back to the Sports Arena. It's going to require a comeback tonight for the number 9 ranked Blue Dragons. They trail Western Nebraska 46-40 in a pretty significant defensive struggle. Both teams shooting right at 35%. Hutch 14 of 40. Western Nebraska 15 of 44. But in that third quarter, Western Nebraska hit 6 of 17 shots to 4 of 13 for Hutch. Right now, points off turnovers were big in that quarter. Overall, the game, Hutch has 14 points to what WNCC's 9. But turnovers and rebounding, kind of the difference in that third quarter, Dan.
That's absolutely right, and it led to Western Nebraska outscoring Hutchinson 21-10 in that third quarter.
So it's Paniora, Navanet, Idara, Cooper, and Mapasua on the floor for the Dragons. Tashara Morehouse, who had a late spark in the third quarter, gives it off to Joplin. Joplin goes left side to Valchiva. Valchiva back out top to Cooper, or to Morehouse with 12 seconds. She goes left-handed in the lane, wrap-around pass, kick back out to Joplin, who tries a three-pointer. Shot off the front iron, no good. Van Nett comes up with the loose board. Michaela surveys the floor. She crosses into the front court. Cooper with it, top of the key now, left side, Mapasua. Van Nett will pop out, 18 to shoot. Paniora right wing, working against some man defense. Here's Van Nett driving, keeps her dribble, hands it off to Cooper. Dragons need to get something going with 8 to shoot. Into the lane, and the shot by Hidara is blocked. Morehouse picks up the loose ball and speeds it up the floor. 6-point Cougar lead, dumped underneath of Valchiva. Her shot no good. It was a tough angle shot. And Hidara gets the rebound for Hutch. Now Paniora into the front court. Looks to go inside. Nafa comes out to get it. Now Vanett has it. Dragons reset with 15. Right wing now is Mapasua. Mapasua dribbles with the left hand. Goes off a ball screen. Step back three-pointer on the way. Good! Lauren Mapasua, her third three-pointer of the year. Maybe that'll give the Dragons a spark. Slices the lead in half for the Cougars. Now 46-43. Dragons trail. 8:23 to go fourth quarter. On a lean in by Mapasua. Good position by Valchiva. Lauren picks up her second foul. The first foul for the Dragons here in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn Betham, Abby Ogle come in. Good minutes for Cooper and Nafa. Also Tori Alford in for Kyra Paniora.
Prior to that three-point basket by Mapasua, Hutchinson was only 3 of 14 from three-point.
Now Morehouse has it, looks to drive, goes into the lane, scoops up a shot and kisses it off the glass and scores.
She found a crease between the defenders and somehow made it count.
Ever since she found out she had 3 fouls, she's been playing on a mission.
That's the truth.
Dragons by 5. Entry pass inside to Alford. Goes up against a double team. Shot won't fall, but she'll get her own offensive rebound. Dragons get a new 20. There's Vanett, now Ogle. Right side Mapasua. Guarded by Joplin. Lawrence directing traffic with 10. Here's Ogle. Abby tries a three-pointer. Got it!
Big shot by Abby Ogle.
Abby's first 3 of the year. Dragons trail by 2, 48-46, 7.5 to go. That's Hutchinson's 5th three-pointer of the game. Morehouse drives up a ball screen, cut off by Mapasua. She picks up her dribble, gives it to Joplin, and she gets it right back. Joplin wants the post. Now Barry comes up and takes a screen, and Morehouse sticks a 17-footer. She had 31 5 days ago against Sheridan. 50-46 Western Nebraska with 7 minutes to play. Alford hands it off to Vanett, now Mapasua. Lauren kicks it left side to Ogle. Abby comes and gets Vanett, and a foul called on pulling. She faked the 3, drove left, and picked up the foul on pulling.
4th personal against pulling.
Maddie Campbell will check back in, as well as Lindsay Mahuku and Damonay Antwine. Gibney is substituted very liberally. Ogle with it in the corner, behind the back, tries to drive the baseline, cut up. Her pass is intercepted by Campbell. A tough pass by Abby. Well, we don't see her make those passes. There's Morehouse, gotten stripped. She throws it out, saved in bounds by the Cougars and taken away by Betham. Here's Alford running. Dragons go 3-on-2. Alford's going to hesitate, go up and under, but she travels.
Turnover number 18 committed by the Blue Dragons.
16 for the Cougars. Hutchinson's had a 7-point lead. That came late in the second quarter. The largest lead for Western Nebraska came at the 1:24 mark of the third quarter, an 8-point lead. Both teams shooting right at 35-36%. Here's Morehouse into the lane. Steps back, cut off by Alford. And there's a drive by Huduku. She'll put it up in the left hand. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Campbell. And the Cougars get a new 20.
That's really the difference in this basketball game. Western Nebraska out-rebounding Hutchinson.
Morehouse misses a 3 and a loose ball foul called in the backcourt on Joplin. That'll be the second foul on Taylor Joplin.
It went against Mahuku.
My apologies. I've been trying to give that second foul to Joplin for I've scratched that second foul 3 times now. Somehow I'm going to get her that second foul. Alford working closely by Morehouse. Vanett comes and gets it, drives off a ball screen left. Van takes it in the lane and can't get the shot to go. Ball kicked out to Mapasua. Dragons get it again. Ogle tries a 3-pointer top of the key. This one's short, and Huduku gets the rebound for Western Nebraska. Now here's Morehouse quickly in the lane of foul call on the Dragons. That may be on Abby Ogle. It is, and that'll be her 4th. One thing about Abby, she's always had the propensity to foul.
It's because she plays such an aggressive style of basketball, which you'll love.
Chad Gibney's going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:35 to go, fourth quarter. Western Nebraska 50, Hutchinson 46. This is Blue Dragon basketball. The Dragons, early in the first half, couldn't quite get over the hump until late in the second quarter. They're kind of facing that same thing right now, Dan Nacarado. What's it going to take to get them over the hump on this one?
Well, they're going to have to start securing the basketball more frequently, because right now they're being out-rebounded 39-32, and those extra possessions for Western Nebraska has translated to 4 extra points for them.
Morehouse in the backcourt. In the corner, a three-pointer by Campbell off the back iron, but an offensive rebound by Huduku. She'll go up and under move, step in and score. So Lindsay Huduku, she has 4 in the game, and the Cougars lead by 6, 52-46, with 5:15 to play here in the fourth quarter. Mapasua, Ogle passes up a 3, drive, steps underneath the Betham. She scores, she's fouled, and it counts. A chance at an and one for Brooklyn Betham on a feed from Abby Ogle.
That's the 4th foul committed by Tashara Morehouse, who has just been half of basketball. Morehouse scored 8 points in the third quarter for Western Nebraska, and she's definitely the quarterback for this basketball team.
Betham now into double figures with 10. Shot no good on the free throw. And Abby Ogle takes it away from Huduku, and a foul called on Huduku. How about that for a turn of events?
Second foul committed by Mahuku.
4th team foul, so the Dragons are going to shoot the rest of the way with 5:06 to go.
That could be an advantage, especially when you have a little bit of a deficit to overcome.
Van Het with it on the left side, drives it to the free throw line, picks up her dribble, kicks it right corner, pass intercepted by Campbell. Turnover number 19 for Hutchinson. Just come up with those, clean those turnovers up and keep possessions. They've got a chance at this one. Cougars slow it down, pulling between the circles. She's telling Valchiva to step up. She's going to go one-on-one with Lauren. Good defense. 4 shot, no good. Betham to rebound. Here's Ogle. She's going to take it all the way. Abby Ogle kisses up the glass. Can't get it to go. And the Cougars dodge a bullet there. Valchiva the rebound. Chance for the Dragons to cut it to a 1-possession game and couldn't quite finish. Now pulling in the backcourt with 4:17 to go. Valchiva into the paint, Huduku. And a foul called on the Dragons. It's either against Alford or Betham. And they'll go against Brooklyn Betham. Her third. And they're calling it on the shot, so Lindsay Huduku will get a pair. 4 points here in the second half for Huduku. To go with 9 rebounds. And she misses the first free throw. Western Nebraska now 11 of 19 from the stripe. Blue Dragons just 9 of 17. So
this game got started about 30 minutes behind schedule.
Second free throw, no good. Abby Ogle chases it down. Big misses. Ogle speeds it up. Her pass deflected out of bounds. So Western Nebraska is getting into the passing lanes and deflecting it. It's not stealing or intercepting passes. Dragons have to be careful down the stretch with 4:08 to go.
They're not allowing Hutchinson to do what they want to do offensively.
Alford into the backcourt. Dribbles with the left hand. Now out top to Ogle. Ogle looks at a long three. Now she'll pull the trigger on it and get it. Abby Ogle from way downtown. She has 2 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. Dragons trail by 1, 52-40 or 52-51 with 3:50 to play. Dragons need to pick it up on the defensive end. Top of the key. Now right side over to Cooper. Bad pass thrown out of bounds, but saved. But into the hands of Michaela Vanette. Van splits a double team, slows it up, gets to Ogle. Abby tries another three. Got it! Abby Ogle! 3 threes in the third quarter, and the Blue Dragons take a 54-52 lead. 3:29 to go. Timeout Hutchinson. We'll keep it right here.
Carp, when you asked me what Hutchinson needs to do to crawl back into this, and I said box out and rebound, I meant to say get the ball to Abby Ogle and let her launch some three-point shots because she's going to hit them, and she's made 3 of them in this fourth quarter. Those are big 9 points. That'll help you overcome a deficit in a hurry, which the Blue Dragons have done. They now lead at 54-52, 3:29 to play in the fourth quarter. This is kind of fun basketball, Carp.
Yeah, it is. We're doing all right with this, aren't we? So, Abby Ogle now with 15 points, 3 of 4 from 3. Michaela Vanette with 12, Brooklyn Betham with 10. Tashara Morehouse leads Western Nebraska with 16. Armani Pulling has 10. Dragons have improved to 38% shooting, now 7 out of 19 from long range. Each team with 19 turnovers. And time for the Sports Arena crowd to get into a little bit and make some noise. Morehouse now with 16, 12 here in the the second half, and John Otchus will take a timeout.
Each team with 19 made field goal attempts. Western Nebraska has attempted 4 more shots than Hutchinson, but when you look at the statistics, there's a reason this game is tied. Everything is really tight on the statistics page as well.
2 good teams going at it in this early season battle here at the Atrium Classic. John Otchus takes a 30. 3:09 to play, tied at 54. Again, you see the flashes of what this team is going to be, especially January, February, and March. It's a work in progress, and John Otchus is the first person to admit it. He mentioned it on Dragon Talk the other night up at AJ's. So there's going to be some good moments. There's going to be some bad moments. Right now, record ranking withstanding, the Dragons are on a singular mission to just get better every game.
That's right. Michaela Vanette with 3 3-point field goals. Abby Ogle with 3 of them as well, but Abby's are all in the fourth quarter.
Dragons with the ball. Tori Alford out between the circles. Looks like
2-3 zone.
2-3 zone. Here's Vanette, right side now to Alford. Into the high post, they go underneath down to Betham, and she's fouled by Georgia Berry. That'll be her 4th, and it'll be free throws for Brooklyn. They went to the high-low out of that 2-3. Ogle short corner of Betham.
Hutchinson is so good at attacking that 2-3 zone when they recognize it. Earlier in the game, Western Nebraska switched into it for a possession, and Hutchinson wasn't expecting it, and they turned the ball over. This time they scored. Maybe.
First free throw by Betham, too strong.
I spoke too soon.
Dragons now just 50% from the stripe, 9 of 18. They need this one to take the lead. Second one, good. 55-54, 2:57 left. Cooper and Paniora in. Ogle and Alford take a break. Now who picks up Tashara Morehouse, and it's likely Kyra Paniora. Quickly up the floor is Paniora in the lane, kicks it into the baseline. Jumper by Joplin, good, which Western Nebraska leads 56-55. 8 for Joplin. Check that, 9 for Joplin. And John Ott just wants another timeout. He's going to go substitution situations. Ogle and Alford back in. Full timeout by John Ott, just 2:37 to go. Dragons trail 56-55. Back in 30 seconds. This is Blue Dragon basketball. And welcome back to the Sports Arena. Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarado with you. A dandy ball game brewing here. It's going to be a great finish.
You just had a feeling from the opening tip that both of these teams were ready to compete. Both of these teams were aware that they had a quality opponent going against them. And you just got the feeling nobody was going to run away with this game.
Earlier today, Barton defeated NEO 75-67. Barton will get the same Western Nebraska team in the Battle of the Cougars tomorrow at 1:30.
That's right. That'll get confusing.
And the Blue Dragons will draw NEO.
If you were watching during that timeout, we got to give a shout out to the Spirit Squad, Cheer Squad, Dragon Dolls. Those student athletes get up and go to practice at 5:30 a.m. for a couple hours almost every day.
Yes, they do. Dragons with the ball, trailing by 1, 2.5 to go. Mapasua out top now to Vanette. Michaela wants to go inside, kicks it right side to Alford. They go underneath to Betham. Betham will power up. She'll get the shot to go, and the Dragons lead 57-56. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They went against Barry, who had 4, and now Western Nebraska will take a timeout.
It's becoming a chess match at the end.
So Brooklyn Betham has 5 in the quarter. And go with 8 rebounds. We're going to keep it right here, Dan Nacarado.
Coach Hutchinson and Coach Anderson are talking over whether they should do any substitutions during this timeout. It's a chess match at this point, 2:14 to go. It's a 1-point game. Both teams very well coached, and the players have been impressive.
Indeed they have. And just think, we got 3 more months of this to go.
This is fantastic.
Again, tomorrow night, Darren Dunn will join Dan, as I will be on the way back from Fort Dodge, Iowa, from Blue Dragon football tomorrow. That game will be on the network at 11:30 with countdown to kickoff. But coming up after this, when it does end, it will be Blue Dragon men's basketball with Glenn Grunwald and Dan Nacarado. What are the numbers looking like right now?
Fittingly, both teams have made 20 field goals. Western Nebraska 20 of 55, Hutchinson 20 of 51. Free throw shooting, both teams have missed 9. Western Nebraska 11 of 20, Hutchinson 10 of 19. Shots than Western Nebraska. But when you look at the turnovers, Hutchinson has committed 20, Western Nebraska 19. Rebounding, still the edge goes to Western Nebraska 42-34.
It's a 17-10 advantage in the quarter for Hutchinson. Cougars will have the ball on the far sideline to the camera, near sideline to us, right in front of the Cougar bench. 24 to shoot, and here we go. Tashara Morehouse, a big second half. She'll pop a long 3. It hits the back iron, no good. Abby Ogle, the placement rebound for Hutchinson, and she'll slow it down. Alford brings it into the front court. Otis calls out the play. Right side. Mapasua has trouble. It has to chase it down deep in the corner, and John Otis will take a timeout. Unfortunate that Lauren just didn't quite handle the ball.
No,
but they kept possession.
She hustled after it and retrieved it right in the corner between half court and the scorer's table sideline. And Coach Onches sensed that that's not a good position to be in, right in that corner with a pressuring defense.
When the Dragons resume play, they'll have 15 seconds to shoot, 1:53 remaining.
It kind of surprised me that Morehouse took that early three-point shot coming out of the timeout. Normally, you take a timeout, you have an offensive set that you're planning to run, but she just casually took a couple dribbles and felt like she had the space to let it fly, and she did. If it had gone in, we'd be saying, wow, that was genius.
Each team with 19 turnovers. Hutch now 20 out of 51 from the field, 39.2%. Western Nebraska 20 for 56. Dragons have 2 more three-pointers. Hutch with 7 and Western Nebraska with 5. Normally the Division I part of Region 9 in Nebraska, usually Western Nebraska owns it, they do, but there's 3 sub-regions in Region 9. Huge. I mean, it's a huge
geographic.
It is huge up. Yeah, you can go all the way to Miles, Montana. It's that spread out. I did a game once in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Oh my!
For Mid Plains. So, but a lot of tradition with this Western Nebraska team. Again, a rematch last year of the opening round. So here we go.
Western Nebraska is nationally ranked right now, aren't they, Carp?
They are actually out of the rankings right now.
Okay.
8 to shoot. Alford with it. Goes to the right hand. Drives into the lane. Alford kicks it in the corner. Has her pass intercepted by Pulling. Cougars 2-on-1. Pulling to the hoop. She's fouled. Oh, a charge! It's a charge. Abby Ogle steps in. And Armani Pulling fouls out of the game.
One of those judgment calls that's have to make a quick decision as an official.
So Pulling fouls out at the 136 mark. And who would you expect for the Blue Dragons to sit there and take a clutch charge than sophomore Abby Ogle?
She is a rugged competitor.
90 seconds to play in this one. Up the floor is Alford, closely guarded by Morehouse. Betham comes out to help her. Ball worked around to the right wing and Mapasua. Here's Van Ed with it with 15 to shoot. Van drives left. Goes between the legs, into the lane, picks up a dribble. She's in trouble now. Kicks it out to Alford with 7. Alford tries a three-pointer, hits up the back iron, no good. Right into the hands of Lauren Mapasua, and the Dragons get a new 20 with 1:05 to play. 57-56 Hutchinson. Right wing extended Mapasua. Wants to post up Alford. Now out between the circles is Ogle. Into the hands of Van Nett. She takes it with the left hand. She'll go up and get fouled and will shoot 2 with 51.1 to play. And that'll be foul number 5 on Georgia Berry. The second Cougar to foul out in the last 30 seconds.
Georgia Berry, one of the more physical players that you'll see around the country.
Valchiva and Mahuku will check back in. And Twine checks out. The now departed Georgia Berry. And it's 2 free throws for Michaela Van Nett.
That's the player Hutchinson would want at the free throw line in this situation.
12 points for Van, the sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota. 56 Blue Dragons.
You can tell that's the stroke of a player that has made tens of thousands of free throws through the years.
Second free throw. This one hangs and falls off, no good. And the rebound to Valchiva. Dragons have to defend a 2-point lead with 45 seconds to go.
Hutchinson does have a foul to give.
Into the corner now, to Huduka. Her shot rattles off, no good. Offensive rebound, Morehouse. So long three-pointer on the way is no good. Another offensive rebound by the Cougars. Valchiva goes up, can't get that one to go. Ball still loose. Into the hands of Michaela Van Nett. She's fouled by Huduku.
Oh my goodness.
Huduku with the foul in the backcourt. 25.6 seconds to go. Huge free throws coming up because this could make it a 2-possession game.
Western Nebraska battling on the offensive glass, had 3 opportunities, came up empty on all 3. Finally, Hutchinson clears the rebound. And when I said Van Nett has made tens of thousands of free throws, I didn't necessarily mean in games.
Lindsay Huduku, her 3rd foul. First free throw by Van, good.
You shoot
9:56.
You shoot thousands of free throws on your own in practice, in the driveway, in a gym, and that's what prepares you to make them in situations like this.
Oh, good. It's a 2-possession game. 60 to Peniora, and Cooper comes in, and we are going to get, I believe, a Western Nebraska timeout. 25.6 to go. We'll take a quick break. Back in 30 seconds. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Sports Arena, dandy.
Hutchinson still does have a foul to give. Carp only have committed 3 in this 4th quarter. When you're up 4, 25 seconds to go, that can come in handy.
Indeed it can. Just make sure you don't foul them on the shot and waste that. Neither team with the timeout now.
Abby Ogle checked back into the game. That's certainly a player you want on the floor in this situation.
Ogle with 15, Vanette with 15, Betham with 13 points, 8 rebounds. Tashara Morehouse 18. She's got 14 here in the second half. And I believe she was sparked by whatever discrepancy their bookkeeper to the official bookkeeper had, because she's been playing on a mission. Travis Kirk said you got to box out, play physical in this situation. It'll be Cougar basketball, 25.6 seconds left. Again, a 2-possession game.
They'll definitely want the ball in Morehouse's hands.
Morehouse has it, working against Paniora. Drives to the left hand, now kicks the left side to Valcheber, right back to Morehouse. Ball screen right, tries to step back, three-pointer, it's on the way. Good, with 15.7 to go.
Big time shot.
60-59, Dragons get it into Paniora. Shot clock is off. Kyra across the timeline, gets stripped, but a foul called with 11.5 seconds remaining. Foul will go against Maddie Campbell, her 4th. It'll be 2 free throws for the freshman, Kyra Paniora.
Has not scored in this game.
Has not shot a free throw yet in her career. And just like a seasoned pro, she knocks it home. 61-59. Again, with 1 foul to give, assuming Kyra hits this. Second free throw, good. Paniora steps to the line, knocks 2 down, cold as a cucumber. 62-59, 11.5 seconds left to go.
Paniora is a 100% free throw shooter in her college career.
Dragons want ball pressure on Morehouse. They get it into her. Vanette now off. She'll try a long three-pointer. The corner, and it will be Hutchinson basketball with 2.3 to go.
Morehouse got a good look, didn't she, Carp?
It was long, but it was wide open.
She got an open look.
Ogle to inbound against full court pressure. Gets it into Vanette, and Morehouse fouls her with 0.2 seconds left, and that should do it.
The only thing that can keep the Blue Dragons from winning this game now is some kind of crazy technical foul situation.
Tashara Morehouse fouls out of the game. She will foul out with 21 points. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists.
We thought this game would be a good one, and we have not been disappointed.
Michaela Vanette, free throw, good. Now it's completely academic, 63-59. The Stripes, 16 points, 1 more to come. And the Blue Dragons have a 4th quarter comeback and defeat Western Nebraska 64-59 in a thriller here at the Sports Arena in the Atrium Classic. We'll talk Dragon basketball.